Conor Anthony McGregor, Irish, Conor Antoine McGregor, born the 14th of July 1988, is an Irish boxer and professional mixed martial artist who is currently signed to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC. He is the reigning UFC lightweight champion, and former UFC featherweight champion. During his career, McGregor has competed as a featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight. In 2008, McGregor started his mixed martial arts (MMA) career and, in 2012, he won both the Cage Warriors featherweight and lightweight championships, holding both titles concurrently before vacating them to sign with the UFC. In 2015, at UFC 194, McGregor defeated Jose Aldo for the UFC featherweight championship via knockout 13 seconds into the first round. This was the fastest victory in UFC title fight history. Upon defeating Eddie Alvarez for the UFC lightweight championship at UFC 205, McGregor became the first fighter in UFC history to hold titles in two weight divisions simultaneously. He is known for being the biggest pay-per-view draw in MMA history, as well as his extravagant lifestyle and trash-talking. In 2016, he was the first MMA fighter to crack into the Forbes top 100 highest-paid athletes list at 85 with $22 million and was even higher in 2017, tied at 24 with $34 million in total earnings. Early life McGregor was born in Dublin, Ireland to Tony and Margaret McGregor. He was raised in the South Dublin suburb of Crumlin and attended a Gaelscoil and Gaelcholáiste at both primary and at secondary level in Coláiste de Hyde in Tallaght, where he also developed his passion for sport playing association football. In his youth, he played football for Lord's Celtic Football Club. At the age of 12, McGregor also began boxing at Crumlin Boxing Club. In 2006, McGregor moved with his family to Lucan in West Dublin, attending Gaelcholáiste Coláiste Qua Life. Following that, he commenced a plumbing apprenticeship. While in Lucan, he met future UFC fighter Tom Egan and they soon started training mixed martial arts (MMA) together. Amateur mixed martial arts career On the 17th of February 2007, at the age of 18, McGregor made his mixed martial arts debut in an amateur fight against Kieran Campbell for the Irish Ring of Truth promotion in Dublin. He was victorious via technical knockout (TKO) in the first round. Following the fight, he turned professional and was signed by the Irish Cage of Truth promotion. In 2008, McGregor began training at the Straight Blast Gym (SBG) in Dublin under John Kavanagh. Professional mixed martial arts career Early career 2008 to 2013 On the 9th of March 2008, McGregor had his first professional MMA bout as a lightweight, defeating Gary Morris with a second-round TKO. After McGregor won his second fight against Mo Taylor, he made his featherweight debut in a loss via submission against Artemij Saidankov. After a victory at featherweight in his next bout against Stephen Bailey, McGregor contemplated a different career path before his mother contacted his coach John Kavanagh and reinvigorated him to continue pursuing mixed martial arts. McGregor then won his next fight, also at featherweight, against Conor Dillon, before moving back to lightweight for a fight against Joseph Duffy where he received his second professional loss after submitting to an arm triangle choke. Following this, during 2011 and 2012, McGregor went on an 8-fight win streak, during which he won both the CWFC featherweight and lightweight championships, making him the first European professional mixed martial artist to hold titles in two divisions simultaneously. In February 2013, UFC President Dana White made a trip to Dublin, Ireland to receive a gold medal of honorary patronage from Trinity College and was inundated with requests to sign McGregor to the UFC. After a meeting with McGregor, and talking with UFC CEO Lorenzo Fertitta, White offered him a contract days later. Ultimate Fighting Championship, 2013 present, 2013, UFC debut. In February 2013, the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, announced that they had signed McGregor to a multi-fight contract. In joining, McGregor became only the second fighter from Ireland to compete for the company, following fellow SBG team member Tom Egan. On the 6th of April 2013, McGregor made his UFC debut against Marcus Brimage on the preliminary card of UFC on Fuel TV, Mousasi vs. Latifi. Brimage began the fight aggressively, meeting McGregor in the middle of the octagon before launching a flurry of strikes to push him back. McGregor, repeatedly throwing a counter left hook, found little success with his initial striking. After ascertaining that Brimage was susceptible to a snap kick directed at his chest and chin, McGregor began to employ a looping left-hand uppercut, throwing every time Brimage would move forward into striking range. These uppercuts grounded Brimage shortly after McGregor started to utilize them. The bout was stopped 107 into the first round. The win also earned McGregor his first Knockout of the Night award. McGregor was expected to face Andy Ogle on the 17th of of August 2013 at UFC Fight Night 26, but Ogle pulled out of the bout citing an injury and was replaced by Max Holloway. McGregor bewildered Holloway with his unusual boxing technique, and his incorporation of a wide variety of taekwondo kicks, many of which are not used in MMA to a significant degree. McGregor was able to control the striking range by utilizing long, non-committal low side kicks to Holloway's knee and shin, and initiate combinations by leaping in with switch and bicycle kicks. When the fight was brought to the ground, McGregor maintained top control, performing various positional advances, and mitigating his opponent's offense on the ground. McGregor won the fight by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-26. Following the bout with Holloway, an MRI scan revealed that McGregor had torn his anterior cruciate ligament, ACL, during the bout and would require surgery, keeping him out of action for up to 10 months. The events surrounding McGregor's fight with Holloway were the main focus of a documentary by Motive Television and Severema.com for Radio Televisaran in 2014, entitled The Notorious 2014 Return After Injury. McGregor was expected to face Cole Miller on the 19th of July, 2014 at UFC Fight Night 46 in his comeback bout after recovering from his ACL injury. However, Miller pulled out of the bout citing a thumb injury and was replaced by Diego Brando. McGregor fought Brando in front of a loud, rowdy crowd of 9,500 at the O2 in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland. McGregor began the fight with a signature spinning side kick, before finding his range and successfully landing various taekwondo kicks and left-hand counters. Brando, a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, attempted to instigate 2 takedowns, so that he could make use of his grappling pedigree, but both attempts were avoided by McGregor. Nonetheless, much of the fight was spent on the ground, as McGregor attained a takedown 120 into the bout. When the fight returned to the feet in the 3rd minute, McGregor began to employ his left-hand cross, and started to cut off the cage. Brando, trapped between the octagon and McGregor, fell to his side after being hit with another left-hand cross as the fight went into its 4th minute. The fight was officially halted by referee Leon Roberts at 4:05 of the first round. The win earned McGregor his first Performance of the Night award. Prior to his next bout, McGregor met with Lorenzo Fertitta and signed a new multi-fight contract with the UFC. McGregor next faced Dustin Poirier on the 27th of September, 2014 at UFC 178. The bout was one of the most anticipated fights on the UFC 178 card. McGregor and Poirier part of only 4 men involved in the pre-fight press conference, alongside then headliners Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier. Part of the anticipation stemmed from the challenge the matchup posed. Poirier was McGregor's first opponent ranked in the UFC's top 10 featherweights. Despite McGregor landing 9 significant strikes to Poirier's 10, he managed to secure a victory early on in the first round, by pressuring Poirier onto his back foot, before exploding with a left hook behind Poirier's ear, forcing referee Herb Dean to step in. The finish officially came at 1:46 into the first round. This marked Poirier's first UFC loss via TKO, and earned McGregor his 2nd straight Performance of the Night award. In the post-fight interview with commentator Joe Rogan, McGregor cited the UFC Featherweight Championship as his next goal in the organization, stating that if the UFC want, I'll eliminate Chad Mendes and step in and give the fans what they want. Aldo vs. McGregor, 2015 Championship Pursuits. McGregor's dominant victory over Poirier, paired with his brash trash-talking directed at the rest of the featherweight division, particularly UFC featherweight champion Jose Aldo, allowed him to establish a claim to a potential title shot in the near future. McGregor was then scheduled to face perennial featherweight contender Dennis Siver on the 18th of January 2015 at UFC Fight Night 59, in what was later deemed by UFC President Dana White a one-contender bout. If McGregor were to win the fight, he would face Aldo for the featherweight championship later in 2015. The bout served as McGregor's return to Boston, after his 2013 fight with Max Holloway, and was the 4th most attended UFC Fight Night event of all time, with an official attendance of 13,828. With a 4-inch reach advantage, McGregor was able to land his signature left-hand cross consistently, Siver struggling to counter all throughout the bout. McGregor kept distance by utilizing side kicks to the legs of Siver, as well as wild spinning wheel kicks and leaping roundhouse kicks. Much of Siver's most successful offense came by way of side kicks to both McGregor's lead leg oblique and chest. McGregor was mostly successful in avoiding his opposition's attack after the first 2 minutes of the fight, as he would slip underneath any counter left hooks that Siver offered as McGregor stepped in to deliver his left cross. Siver, a capable Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo practitioner, attempted 3 takedowns in the first round of the bout, but McGregor was able to avoid all 3 attempts handily. Despite landing in the first round 43 significant strikes to Siver's 27, the fight extended into the second round, when where McGregor landed over 4 times more strikes than his opponent. At 126 into the second, McGregor landed a left-hand cross that knocked Siver down onto his back. After passing Siver's guard, McGregor mounted his opponent and began throwing punches and elbows. Referee Herb Dean officially stopped the fight at 1:54 of the second round. The win came via TKO. The victory also earned McGregor his third straight Performance of the Night award. After the fight, McGregor jumped over the cage and confronted Jose Aldo, who was seated cage side at the event interim featherweight championship bout. The highly anticipated bout with Aldo was announced on the 30th of January 2015 at the UFC 183 Q&A. McGregor himself declared that he was expected to face Aldo on the 11th of July 2015 at UFC 189 for the undisputed UFC featherweight championship. During the UFC's annual International Fight Week, the fight would take place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The UFC, confident that the fight would exceed expectations, increased the promotional budget for the event, with company president Dana White stating that the UFC spent more money promoting Aldo McGregor than any fight in UFC history. The tour began in Rio de Janeiro on the 20th of March, and completed in Dublin on the 31st of March. However, on the 23rd of June, it was reported that Aldo had suffered a rib fracture and had pulled out of the bout in light of the injury. McGregor remained on the card and was rescheduled to face Chad Mendes for the interim featherweight championship. This change of opponent was considered highly significant stylistically, not only as Mendes was the one-ranked featherweight contender and a former title challenger, but as both McGregor's previous opponents in the UFC as well as Aldo had all been considered striking technicians. According to many pundits, McGregor had never faced a wrestler before, which Mendes, a former NCAA Division I wrestler, was. At the weigh-ins, McGregor and Mendes both made the 145-pound limit, in front of a record crowd of 11,500 spectators. Once again, McGregor's countrymen and women flocked to the United States to support him, with Dana White stating that approximately 25 of the tickets sold for the event were from Ireland and the United Kingdom. The official attendance for the event, 16,019, broke the record in Nevada, whilst the gate of $7,200,000 broke the record for a mixed martial arts event in the United States. Just prior to the fight, McGregor's typical entrance song, The Foggy Dew, was sung live by Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor, who performed the rendition of the song which she had recorded alongside the band The Chieftains in 1995. McGregor opened the fight offensively, utilizing a spinning back kick as soon as the bout began, before being taken down by Mendes. On the feet, Mendes and McGregor exchanged strikes for much of the first 2 minutes, McGregor landing his signature left cross as well as snap kicks to his opponent's body, and Mendes utilizing hard left hooks and overhand rights. McGregor made use of his 8-inch reach advantage, by throwing various taekwondo techniques at range, including a multitude of spinning back kicks, and a roundhouse kick. At 2:13 into the first round, Mendes attempted a successful takedown, before ending up in McGregor's guard. After being hit with an elbow from Mendes, McGregor attempted to escape back to his feet, suffering a striking combination as a result. McGregor's offense remained targeted towards his opponent's body, in an attempt to drain the energy of Mendes. The third and final successful takedown for round 1 for Mendes occurred at 3:44, and led to Mendes briefly passing McGregor's guard and attaining side control, before being pulled back into half guard. Mendes briefly attempted a topside guillotine in the final half a minute of the round, but McGregor was able to roll out of the submission. In the final seconds of the round, Mendes was warned repeatedly by referee Herb Dean for sticking his fingers inside a cut that he had opened above McGregor's eyebrow earlier in the round. In the first round, McGregor successfully landed 19 of 51 significant strikes, compared to men's 15 of 28. 53 of McGregor's strikes were dealt to the body, whilst 50 of men's were directed at the head. Mendes also successfully landed 3 strikes to McGregor on the ground, including the elbow which cut McGregor's eyebrow. Many mixed martial arts media groups, including Sherdog, Caged Insider, MMA Junkie, and Bloody Elbow, scored the round 10-9 for Chad Mendes. In the opening of the second round, McGregor continued to issue damage to men's body, before sprawling to avoid a takedown 0:22 seconds in. After a successful variety of boxing combinations, Mendes landed a takedown at 0:48. Mendes maintained top position for much of the round subsequent to the takedown, landing 13 strikes to McGregor's head. McGregor, remaining offensive on the ground, landed a flurry of 7 elbow strikes to the head of Mendes from 2:37 onwards. Mendes complained to Herb Dean that the elbows were illegal, but Dean disagreed, allowing McGregor to continue his attack. At 4:12 of the round, Mendes attempted another topside guillotine from half guard, allowing McGregor McGregor to scramble back to his feet and continue his assault at distance. McGregor began to land uppercuts, hooks, and the left cross, before sprawling to avoid Men's third takedown attempt of the second round. At 4:32, with 10 seconds left in the round, McGregor landed a jab-cross combination that sent Mendes to the canvas. A series of strikes delivered to the grounded Mendes forced Dean to step in and halt the bout at 4:57, with 3 seconds remaining in the round. McGregor won the fight via second-round TKO, winning the UFC Interim Featherweight Championship. Mendes came over to McGregor shortly after the bout was stopped, and McGregor thanked him for accepting the fight, saying, "You're a legend for taking this fight. Aldo's a juice-head pussy." A visually emotional McGregor said in his post-fight interview with Joe Rogan that he was blown away by the support. "I can't put into words how grateful I am for everyone supporting me and following me. To come in here and just to hear all the support at the weigh-ins and today, I'm shaken with it." When asked about Jose Aldo by Rogan, McGregor stated that, "In my opinion, Jose went running. I had bigger injuries leading up to this fight than Aldo's bruised rib, and I still showed up here and performed. If he wants to come back, he can come back, but I swear to God his day will come." The injury McGregor was referring to was later revealed to be an ACL tear that the fighter had procured during his training camp. During Chad Men's post-fight interview, McGregor approached his opponent, and the two men expressed respect and thankfulness towards one another. This victory extended McGregor's performance of the night award streak to 4. McGregor then took part in UFC's reality television series The Ultimate Fighter, where he would coach against Uriah Faber. This US vs. Europe installment of the show was the first time that the coaches would not fight against each other at the show's conclusion. Faber's team member Ryan Hall ended up winning the competition. Featherweight Championship unification bout. On the 10th of August, Dana White confirmed that the UFC 194 event, which was initially scheduled to be held at the AT&T Stadium in Texas on the 5th of December, would take place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, in Las Vegas, Nevada. A day later, on the 11th of August, it was announced that the event would take place on the 12th of December, and Conor McGregor would face Jose Aldo in their long-awaited UFC Featherweight Championship unification bout. This would be the second consecutive time McGregor would be scheduled to fight in Las Vegas in the headlining match. McGregor emerged from the fight announcement as an almost 2-1 betting favorite over Aldo. At the UFC's Go Big press conference, on the 4th of September 2015, McGregor referenced both Aldo and his other opponent's tendency to pull out of bouts with him, suggesting that at UFC 194, Aldo would not fight. He implored everyone on the dais, from members of the 145-pound featherweight division to the 170-pound welterweight division, to prepare for this fight, because I don't think Aldo's showing up. Don't use men's excuse of camps and all this bullshit. Stay ready, because Aldo's gone running. McGregor also made comments shortly prior to the press conference, detailing his intention to move up to the 155-pound lightweight division, and capture the UFC lightweight championship. He stated, "I'm going to unify the belts, I'm going to destroy the featherweight division, and then I'm going to take the lightweight division as well." On the week of UFC 194, Dana White stated his belief that the event would attract more attention than any other mixed martial arts event in history. UFC 194 is trending in every way, shape and form to be the biggest thing we've ever done. This fight is set to gross in-gate $10 million. At the weigh-ins, both McGregor and Aldo achieved the stipulated weight limit of 145 pounds, making the bout official in front of a raucous 9,000 spectators. During the customary stare-down, both men needed to be separated from one another. The event lived up to its monetary potential, producing a live gate of $10,100,000, breaking the previous record for a mixed martial arts event in the United States, established at UFC 189. The final attendance for the event also broke the Nevada attendance record, with a live attendance figure of 16,516. The buy rate for the pay-per-view was 1,200,000, placing it as the second highest buy rate in UFC history, behind only UFC 100. When both men met in the center of the octagon for referee John McCarthy's instructions, Aldo refused to make eye contact with McGregor, as per his usual pre-fight tradition. Neither man performed the customary touch of gloves. As the bout began, both men rushed to the center of the cage. McGregor threw the first strike of the fight, a left cross which failed to connect. Aldo's follow-up counter left hook similarly failed to make contact with McGregor. McGregor, attempting to establish distance, utilized a front leg side kick, directed at Aldo's lead leg. At 0:09 into the opening round, Aldo stepped into the pocket, feinting a right cross in an attempt to connect with a left hook. But as Aldo attempted this combination, McGregor stepped back and countered with his own left hook. McGregor's power, combined with Aldo's forward momentum, caused the shot to drop Aldo to the canvas. After delivering 2 additional hammer fists to the grounded Aldo, John McCarthy halted the bout. The fight lasted 13 seconds, the fastest finish in any UFC title bout, cementing Conor McGregor as only the second undisputed UFC featherweight champion in history. On a record-breaking 5th consecutive occasion, McGregor was made the winner of the Performance of the Night bonus. The win over Aldo extended his UFC win streak to 7 and overall win streak to 15. In the post-fight interview with Joe Rogan, McGregor talked about how nobody can take that left-hand shot. Aldo's powerful and he's fast, but precision beats power, and timing beats speed. McGregor expressed sympathy for his opponent, stating, "I feel for Jose. He was a phenomenal champion. We deserve to go a little longer." At the conclusion of the interview, McGregor grabbed Rogan's microphone, before exclaiming, "Ireland baby, we did it, yeah." 2016, first UFC loss. After emphatically dispatching Aldo, McGregor continued to express a desire to move up to the lightweight division, in an attempt to become the first ever UFC dual-weight champion. On the Fox Sports post-fight show for UFC 194, McGregor said that he would like to go up and fight for that 155-pound belt and replicate what I've done in Cage Warriors. A week subsequent to UFC 194, the UFC Lightweight Championship was contested at UFC on Fox. Dos Anjos vs. Cerrone 2, between reigning champion Rafael Dos Anjos, and the 2 lightweight contender, Donald Cerrone. Dos Anjos defeated Cerrone 106 into the first round, via TKO. After the bout, during the post-fight interview, Dos Anjos took aim at McGregor, telling the featherweight champion that it's better to stay in the featherweight division. "I will fight you in Brazil. I will go to Ireland to fight you there. Whatever one, man, I'm here to stay." It was on the 12th of January 2016, that the UFC officially announced that Conor McGregor would face Rafael Dos Anjos for the UFC Lightweight Championship on the 5th of March at UFC 196, then known as UFC 197. The event would be held at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, in McGregor's 3rd consecutive headlining appearance at the venue. On the 20th of January, the UFC hosted a press conference featuring all the combatants involved in the 2 championship fights headlining the UFC 197 event, including McGregor and Dos Anjos. McGregor criticized his opponent on numerous occasions throughout the press conference, stating, "Rafael Dos Anjos is a free TV fighter. He doesn't have much to offer me besides that gold belt. His last gate was $1.7 million. He fights on free TV. He hasn't made the company a dime." McGregor also entertained the idea of challenging for the UFC welterweight championship, telling the media that "I will fight in many weight divisions. I like the sound of that 170-pound title as well. I feel like I can take 3 gold belts." His prediction for the fight with Dos Anjos was that he would dust Rafael inside 1 minute. On the 23rd of February, it was announced that Dos Anjos was withdrawing from the fight after breaking his foot. Instead, 10th-ranked lightweight contender, The Ultimate Fighter Season 5 winner, and former UFC Lightweight Championship challenger Nate Diaz would be stepping in to fight McGregor on 13 days' notice instead of Dos Anjos. Initially assumed to be a lightweight contest, McGregor allowed the bout to be contested at 170 pounds, in the welterweight division, to avoid forcing Diaz to cut down to the 155-pound lightweight limit in such little time, telling Diaz to get comfortable. McGregor opened as a -400 favorite, his 3rd highest opening behind his fights with Dennis Siver and Diego Brando, and was widely expected to best Diaz during the contest. On the 24th of February 2016, a press conference was held to help promote the new main event, with both men trading insults back and forth. At the Thursday pre-fight press conference on the 3rd of March, McGregor and Diaz engaged in a brief scuffle during a face-off, after McGregor landed a strike on Diaz's lead hand. At the weigh-ins, in front of another pro-McGregor crowd, both men made the welterweight limit, Diaz weighing in at 169 pounds, and McGregor weighing in at 168. The UFC 196 event, whilst failing to exceed the gate and attendance records of McGregor's previous bout against Aldo, provided respectable numbers, with a revised attendance of 14,898, and a total gate of $8.1 million. More significantly, the event procured a PPV buy rate of 1,317,000 buys, surpassing McGregor's own personal record of 1,200,000 for UFC 194. For his walkout, McGregor decided to abandon the notorious BIG's Hypnotize for the first time since his homecoming bout against Brando, and instead opted to utilize a combination of Siniato Conor and the Chieftains the Foggy Dew, followed by The Game and Skrillex's El Chapo. The fight began with McGregor shifting stances frequently, before looking to establish his patented left cross. The first minute consisted of McGregor showcasing a variety of kicks, before Diaz initiated a clinch, and forced McGregor to the cage. McGregor, aware that Diaz would bring his head low after delivering a jab-cross combination, attempted to make use of a left uppercut, with varied success. Diaz's jab kept McGregor at bay for much of the first 2 minutes, and McGregor found difficulty utilizing the pullback left-hand counter that had knocked out Jose Aldo. At 2:32, McGregor connected with a left uppercut off of Diaz's jab, stunning his opponent for a brief interval. McGregor's left overhand also proved successful, employed as Diaz would lunge in to strike. Diaz's right hook was utilized to great success in the first round, catching McGregor as he would step into range. At 3:12, during a McGregor combination, Diaz returned fire with 2 consecutive hooks, one a slap, a signature of Nate and his brother, Nick Diaz, termed the Stockton slap. McGregor avoided Diaz's jabs by slipping to his right, often before throwing his left overhand. At 3:28, commentator Mike Goldberg noted that there was a lot of blood on the right side of the face of Nate Diaz, indicating that McGregor had opened a cut on Diaz. The final minute consisted of both men exchanging blows, before a slow body kick from McGregor led to Diaz taking him down at 4:18. McGregor swept Diaz's legs, and ended up in his opponent's guard, hammering down with 2 significant strikes. McGregor landed 28 to Diaz, 23 strikes during round 1, both men attaining a connection percentage of 37. Many mixed martial arts media sites awarded a 10-9 to McGregor for the round, including Bloody Elbow, MMA Mania, and Sherdog. The second round commenced with Diaz utilizing his check right hook, attempting to keep the aggressive McGregor at distance. Despite this, McGregor procured success with his bodywork, landing a thudding left hook to Diaz's right side at 0:37. McGregor began to connect with significant combinations, until Diaz clinched and pushed McGregor to the fence, at 1:15. After a combination of uppercuts from McGregor at 1:48, Diaz delivered his first significant taunt of the fight, shrugging towards his opponent. As the taunts began to increase in frequency from both sides, Diaz's volume and pace increased, his landing of the jab escalating. After a 7-strike combination from McGregor, Diaz separated from the exchange and proceeded to land a jab-cross combination at 2:37 which wobbled McGregor. A swarm of strikes, including a slap, followed this combination, Diaz landing with great effectiveness until the initiation of another clinch, where Diaz landed 10 strikes. After the 2 disengaged, McGregor returned fire with a barrage of 4 strikes, before being hit with 2 consecutive jab-cross combinations. At 3:47, McGregor attempted a double leg takedown, Diaz successfully sprawling to avoid the shot. Diaz, hands clasped around McGregor's neck, threatening the guillotine choke, forced McGregor onto his back after stopping McGregor from scrambling out of the position, as he did during the bout with Chad Mendes at UFC 189. At 400, Diaz secured the mount, before firing off a volley of strikes from the top. In an effort to avoid the assault, McGregor gave up his back, allowing Diaz to punch his head into the crook of his arm, and secure a rear naked choke. McGregor tapped to the submission at 4:12 into the second round, forcing referee Herb Dean to interfere and stop the bout. The loss served as Conor McGregor's first in the UFC, and his third overall. It broke his winning streak of 15 consecutive wins, and was his first loss since November 2010. Both competitors were awarded Fight of the Night bonuses, and McGregor received the highest disclosed purse of any fighter in the history of the company, a total of $1 million. In the post-fight interview, McGregor evaluated the contest, stating that I felt I took the first round, but I was inefficient with my energy. But I'm humble in victory or defeat. I respect Nate, he came in, he took the fight on short notice, came in at 170, and done the job. He was efficient, I was not efficient. That was it, I feel. Regarding the future, McGregor said he would face it like a man, like a champion, and come back and do it again. At the post-fight press conference, McGregor was content with the loss, stating that this is the game. We win some, we lose some. I will never shy away from a challenge. I will never shy away from defeat. This is the fight business. It's another day. I'll come back. Diaz rematch. A rematch with Diaz was scheduled for July 9th at UFC 200. However, on April 19th, the UFC announced that McGregor had been pulled from the event after failing to fulfill media obligations related to the fight. In turn, the fight with McGregor was rescheduled and took place the following month, contested again at welterweight, at UFC 202. McGregor won the rematch via majority decision, 48-47, 47-47, 48-47. The bout was once again awarded Fight of the Night honors. The event broke the record previously held by UFC 100 for highest-selling pay-per-view in UFC history with 1,650,000 buys. Two-division champion. On September 27, it was officially announced that McGregor's next bout would be against Eddie Alvarez for the UFC Lightweight Championship on November 12 at UFC 205. McGregor defeated Alvarez by second-round technical knockout to win the UFC Lightweight Championship. On November 26, due to his inactivity in the division, it was initially announced that McGregor vacated the featherweight championship, therefore promoting Jose Aldo to undisputed champion, but further reports say that McGregor was actually stripped of the title as confirmed by his coach. 2017 MMA hiatus and boxing endeavors. After winning the lightweight championship at UFC 205, McGregor announced he would take time off from the UFC to wait for the birth of his first child due in 2017. McGregor would spend the majority of his public appearances in early 2017 campaigning for a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather. After months of negotiations, the two finally came to terms on June 14, 2017 and announced the match to take place on August 26. UFC pay-per-views mixed martial arts fighting style McGregor is known mostly as a striker and prefers to fight standing up as opposed to on the ground. McGregor is left-handed and primarily fights out of the southpaw stance, but often switches to a conventional stance as well. He will frequently try to be the aggressor in his bouts. McGregor's boxing is typically considered his best skill, with the majority of his victories coming by way of knockout or technical knockout via punches. Many pundits cite McGregor's pullback left-handed counter as his most dangerous strike. McGregor will almost always engage in trash talk and psychological warfare against his opponents, which have led to comparisons to Muhammad Ali, whom McGregor cites as one of his early inspirations. After Ali died in June 2016, McGregor opined that nobody will ever come close to Ali's greatness. Professional boxing career background When McGregor was 12 years old, he began boxing at Crumlin Boxing Club under two-time Olympian Phil Sutcliffe. It was here where he laid the foundations to his striking ability, training with fighters such as Dean Byrne and Jamie Kavanagh, both of whom went on to train at Wildcard Gym under Freddie Roach. Kavanagh recalls McGregor as a game kind of boxer. He was very game, he loved to fight, but he was also very strong, he could seriously bang. McGregor would eventually become an All-Ireland champion at youth level, but his attention began to turn towards other martial arts when he was about 16. Despite this, and his family moving to West Dublin, McGregor continued boxing. He has regularly sparred at Celtic Warrior Gym, Blanchardstown, which has been home to boxers such as Gary O'Sullivan and Frank Buglioni. Head coach Packy Collins, brother of Steve, commented, "He comes down here and he can hold his own with world champions." He continued, "I won't name names, but the last time he was up here, a very good boxer of ours couldn't make head nor tail of what Conor was doing. He has what appears like a kind of chopping movement when he strikes, and he doesn't use a traditional stance, so this guy just couldn't time him at all." McGregor versus Mayweather Despite his huge MMA success, McGregor maintained an interest in boxing competitively again, and entertained the idea of a money fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Mayweather reportedly talked to Freddie Roach to train McGregor for the fight in case it will happen. Dana White dismissed all the rumors of a fight with Mayweather and stated that Mayweather has yet to contact him in case he wants the fight to push through, since McGregor is in contract with the UFC. On the 13th of January 2017, White continued his stance against a Mayweather and McGregor boxing matchup and insisted it will never happen due to McGregor's contract, and even went as far as offering Mayweather to box McGregor in the UFC for $25 million. On the 7th of March 2016, Mayweather urged McGregor to sign the contract, hinting that a fight is really in the works. On March 10, 2017, Mayweather stated that only a fight with McGregor would make him come out of retirement. On March 16, 2017, Dana White backpedaled on his stance against a Mayweather-McGregor bout and said that he would not deprive McGregor in making a massive payday. On the 18th of May 2017, McGregor reportedly agreed to all of Mayweather's updated terms and has signed the contract. On the 14th of June 2017, after months of campaigning and negotiating, it was officially announced that McGregor would compete in his first professional boxing match against the undefeated American. The fight date was set for the 26th of August 2017 in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Personal life McGregor has two sisters, Erin and Aoife. He has been in a relationship with his girlfriend, Dee Devlin, since 2008. 1988. McGregor and Devlin's first child, Conor Jack McGregor Jr., was born on the 5th of May 2017. McGregor is fluent in Irish. He usually carries with him a hat that his grandfather frequently wore before he died. McGregor often trains in Reykjavik, Iceland, at the Mjolnir Gym, alongside fellow UFC fighter Gunnar Nelson. McGregor stated that he does not adhere to any pre-fight rituals or superstitions because he believes them to be a form of fear. In 2015, when Ireland was holding a nationwide vote on legalizing same-sex marriage, McGregor voiced his support saying, "We all deserve equal rights. We're all human here at the end of the day." On the 30th of November 2016, McGregor obtained a professional boxing license from the California State Athletic Commission. Filmography television video games championships and accomplishments championships Cage Warriors Fighting Championship, CWFC Featherweight Championship, 1 time, CWFC Lightweight Championship, 1 time, Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC Featherweight Championship, 1 time, UFC Interim Featherweight Championship, 1 time, UFC Lightweight Championship, 1 time. Current awards, records and honors mixed martial arts record professional boxing record see also list of current UFC fighters, list of Irish UFC fighters, list of male mixed martial artists references external links Conor McGregor on Facebook, Conor McGregor on Instagram, Conor McGregor on Internet Movie Database, Conor McGregor on Twitter, UFC profile, SBG Ireland 1, The Mac Life, official site.